Welcome to episode 134 of the BCF ORG podcast, The Business of Business. I'm Brian Fisher. Are you a business owner or executive searching for practical strategies to grow your company? This podcast series focuses on the various subjects and topics to help you run a successful, profitable business, and is targeted to business owners and C-suite executives, but anyone interested in business can benefit. It reflects my 34 years as a business owner and subsequent years as a business mentor and consultant. They're approximately 15 minutes long, so you can listen while commuting. In the previous episode, 133, our guest was Shane Barker, discussing profitable digital presence. Today's episode discusses the Delegation Trap. It's not them, it's you. With Atiba de Souza. Based out of the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area, Atiba de Souza is the CEO of Client Attraction Pros, a company that helps position content for you to win. Let's welcome Atiba de Souza. Atiba, welcome to the BCF ORG podcast, The Business of Business.
Thank you for having me, my friend. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Atiba. Atiba, I'm always interested in people's stories. What's your background in becoming the CEO of Client Attraction Pros?
I've been in the content, the search, marketing field for over 30 years. I actually started off building websites for people back in 1995 and 1996. Been at this game for a long time, built lots of teams and big teams, small teams. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun over the last 30 plus years.
This episode's topic is the delegation trap. Why do so many entrepreneurs and executives fall into that trap?
There are a few reasons. One of them is the old, I can do it myself because no one can do it better than me syndrome. And let me just be honest, that's a real one that we all face. And I say that because I had to admit it even today to my team that there was something new that we're doing that I'm like, I'm probably the best one to do this. And I just need to do it all. And I had to catch myself, the guy who wrote the book on the delegation trap, in the middle of a delegation trap. And that's just one of those things with us of feeling like our expertise and our knowledge is ours and ours only, and no one else can do what we do. And in point of fact, it is true, but it's also a lie because other people can do it. They just may not do it the way you did it. So that's one that catches a lot of us CEOs. And here's the other one. And this one is the one that encompasses a ton of the excuses that we make when we say, I don't know if I can delegate, or I have a hard time delegating with my team. And it is superhero complex, Brian. There's so many of us as business owners, and you and I talked about this pre-show. You started your business and it was just you for a while. That's how so many of us started that way. It was just us. Everything was on us. We had to do everything. We were the superhero inside of the business doing everything. And then we brought other people in and we gave them jobs and roles to do, but we still wanted to be the superhero. We still yearned for that excitement of solving the problem.
That's really interesting. So as we were talking before we started recording, delegating for me was one of the hardest things I did. Once I got going on it, it became very easy. But as you said, nobody is going to do it the way you do it.
Yes. And that's okay.
It is okay.
That's okay. And the truth of the matter is, we don't want them to do it the way we do it. We want them to do it better than us.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Better than us. And that's the way I get a little frustrated. And I hope you don't mind me taking this a little sidebar here. And this is for the audience. This is where I get frustrated with most of the books that are written on delegation and leadership. I wonder, especially in the delegation world, how many of those people actually ever delegated to anyone? People who turn around and tell you, hey, if someone could do it 80% as well as you, let them delegate it. You didn't start your business to be 80% good.
Following up on that, what's the first thing a leader should do when they feel like they're carrying everything on their shoulders?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a really, really great question. And one of the first things that you should do as a leader when you're feeling like you're carrying everything on your shoulders is you need to stop and look in the mirror and recognize that this is not where I want to be. It starts with you in the mirror in your eyes, recognizing that. Then, and we talk about this in my book, The Delegation Trap, then it's starting to figure out, okay, what can I delegate? Now, I'm a big fan of doing, again, what a lot of leaders tell you not to do, or a lot of people in the delegation world tell you not to do, which is people will tell you, hey, go off and find a small task and go delegate that small little task. Well, guess what? If you delegated pencil pushing off of your list, that didn't take enough off of you for you to feel any kind of relief. And so therefore then when they don't do it well, you end up feeling like it was a massive failure. And that again puts you in a trap. I take the exact opposite approach. No. We're going to go delegate something big. Okay, I tell the story in the book about a young lady, Christine, that was working for me, and I needed to delegate some things. And when I reached that point, and I had been an SEO for over 20 years. She was barely 21 years old. Okay. And she came wanting to learn SEO. And she had a previous job doing SEO, and she learned a little bit, but she really wanted to learn. And I saw that she had the aptitude to actually do it. But come on, she's been doing it for less than a year. I've been doing it for over 20 years. Come on, right? But that was a task I chose to delegate. Something big. Because when we delegate that, it actually does free us up.
We're speaking with Atiba de Souza, CEO of Client Attraction Pros, a company that helps position content for you to win. Atiba de Souza is an author, entrepreneur, and relationship mentor. He has guided leaders past the daily grind of bottlenecked decisions, stalled projects, and underperforming teams. Atiba wrote, The Delegation Trap. It's not them, it's you. A hands-on guide for entrepreneurs and executives who feel chained to their businesses. Atiba taps into over 25 years of entrepreneurial experience and advises companies on leadership and team culture. Atiba helps leaders reclaim their time and build businesses that grow stronger, even in their absence. His mission is simple: transform overwhelmed bosses into confident builders of teams that thrive. Now, let's get back to the questions. Atiba, in what ways can entrepreneurs and executives delegate without losing control?
Yeah.
Or quality?
Yeah, that's another great, man. Just two great questions in a row, buddy. We want to roll here.
Well, thanks.
So that's, again, in the book, we talk a lot about that in the Delegation Trap. What I learned over these last 30 years of working with teams, building teams, so on and so forth, is something that we call the CASE method. And the CASE method is a 4-step, 4-question process that, one, helps you as the manager, CEO, to delegate, to put system and process in place to delegate well. And then number 2, to have your staff actually, the outcome be that they do it better than you. Because the thing that we miss as CEOs is, okay, here's this thing that needs to be done. Let me give it to Tommy and tell Tommy, go do it. And then Tommy goes and does it. And maybe he does it right, maybe he does it wrong. But Tommy was just a robot in that instance. Instead, and what we talk about in the book is the thing that we need to do is learn how to teach how we think. You see, because if I can teach Tommy how I think through this process, then when Tommy adds his own flavor in, understanding what my flavor was, that's how now Tommy can become better than me.
Atiba, what results or lessons learned have you seen with businesses and individuals that have implemented your recommendations?
I'm going to give you this story. I was at a mastermind event and we were talking about the book and the delegation trap and the case method. It was in the evening. It was a networking social. And the CEO of a company told me to go talk to one of the managers in his company because he's having trouble with delegation. Well, by the time I got to this guy, he was drunk. Okay, Brian. I mean, he was, yeah, he was drunk. And we're sitting in Vegas in a penthouse way up in the sky on a balcony. And he wants to talk about this. I'm like, why don't we just book a time that we can talk? He's like, let's talk about it now. Okay, fine. And so I went through and I taught him the case method, the 4-step process. He's drunk, remind you. I'm thinking nothing's going to come of this. I follow up with him. I didn't hear from him. Okay, fine. I run into him about 6 months later. And he says to me, Atiba, listen, we talked on that balcony. I didn't remember half of what you said, but I implemented the little bit that I remember. And man, has business changed for me? Has my team changed? And they're saying that they've seen a whole new me. I'm a different person at work now, man. And I didn't even do everything that you said. Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear that all the time. I was on a call earlier tonight, practice manager at a medical clinic, and she's reading the book right now. And she's like, man, I'm learning so much and we're implementing, this is going to be great. Great impact. Really, really good. Because it's very simple and practical.
We're speaking with Atiba de Souza, CEO of Client Attraction Pros. Atiba, is there anything I've not asked that you'd like to add?
I'll say this. And maybe the question, if we're playing Jeopardy, is why should you delegate? For us, as CEOs of companies, as leaders of companies, when we started these companies, we had dreams. When we started these companies, we wanted to change some portion of the world. And we started along and it was great. And somewhere along the way, these bars and walls got built around us and we ended up in this cage. And that cage is called our business, where we can barely even go on vacation without having to stay connected to Slack or some other messaging channel, where we go to bed at night and we're thinking about issues and things that are going on, where our doctors are telling us we need to lose weight, we need to lower our stress level. And we're like, how? That's really the only answer, right? How do you expect me to do that? Do you know what I do? That's not why we started these businesses. And the challenge is you're sitting inside of a cage with the key, and that key is the ability to delegate. That's what the lock on that cage is. And that is what I hope to help you learn and get over, because it has changed everything for us.
Atiba, how can people get in contact with you?
The best way is to go to thedelegationtrap.com. There you'll find the book. You can also see how to contact me there, but thedelegationtrap.com.
Atiba, thank you for joining us today on the BCF ORG podcast, The Business of Business.
Brian, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, buddy.
My sincere thanks to Atiba de Souza for joining us today. Managing the performance and future direction of your company are two of the most important things you do as a leader. And I'm here to help you. If you'd like to reach out to me for business mentoring or consulting, help you with a podcast, schedule a speaking engagement, or potentially be a guest like Atiba, please go to bcforg.com. There's a red Contact Us button in the middle of the homepage. These podcasts will be released the first and third Tuesday each month. This podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. In search, type BCF ORG. Be sure to leave a space between BCF and ORG. I'm looking for this podcast to move from an upper mid-tier podcast to a top-tier podcast. Please leave a positive review, Let your friends and colleagues know about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow the podcast. Join us in our next episode, 135, when our guest will be Adam Hamadash, discussing how SEO and AI search has changed. In business, running a successful, profitable business is the ultimate scorecard. You are never done and can always be better. It tends to be more fun than work, frustrating at times, but can be very rewarding. From BCF ORG Corp., I'm Brian Fisher, wishing you the best. Thanks.